Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss a show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Elena J. So imagine this. You're on your mom or dad's phone, and next thing you know, you see a photo of your parents in leather chaps doing some sexual things. You won't believe the story about what happened to JJ's friend. Plus, dating twins is every guy's fantasy, but one guy is living that fantasy, and it doesn't seem all that great. And what's the weirdest thing you saw while at the beach? All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
Saturday. We're sitting around. It's hot. It's sweaty. We're trying to get under the tent, having a couple of cocktails, and one thing leads to another. And the guy sitting next to me, I had only met him for maybe 20 minutes. We're talking. He listens to the show. I was super grateful. And he goes, "Hey, your parents still around?" I'm like, "No, both of my parents have passed." And he's like, "I got to tell you what I found on my mom's phone the other day. I had to use her phone because I was out of data. Or I didn't have a signal, I think is what he said. And I went to... to search for something on my mom's phone, and I hit her camera roll. And what I found, and her, by the way, this guy's parents, they're in their late 60s, was mom and dad in the full, like, y'all seen Pulp Fiction? You know, when they're in the basement of Pulp Fiction and they pull out the gimp? Like, it's a full leather outfit, and the guy's got one of those red balls in his mouth.
God.
Dad's in one of those, and mom is in, like, the full leather outfit with the giant heels. She looked like a member of Kiss.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "I can't unsee this." And I had to go, "Mom, what the hell is this?" And she's like, "We haven't had kids in the house in forever. And your dad thought we should, experiment with some stuff." Some people would look at this as rather weird. Elena, if you found this on your mom and dad's camera roll, panic?
It wouldn't shock me.
No, really?
My parents talk about their relationship.
Good for
openly.
them.
Yeah,
Good
they're
for
constantly flirting with each other, and it's really cute, but it gets kind of gross, during Thanksgiving when you're sitting there as a family saying thanks,
And he checks the turkey different. Hasn't anyone ever done that to you? Walk behind,
and then they'll be like, "It's nap time right now," and I'm like, "Okay."
They tell you as a grown adult you have to go take a nap because they need some mommy time. So here's what I wanted to ask you real quick. Have you ever been going through your mom or dad's phone and found something you thought was a little bit odd? I want to talk to Sarah this morning. Good morning, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for calling the show. I was at a graduation party over the weekend, and a guy that I just met decided he wanted to show me pictures of his mother and father that are in their late 60s in like a dominatrix outfits that he just accidentally found on their camera roll. And I was like, all right, that's a little bit shocking. And then I saw your text, and I was like, wow, this completely is on the different angles. So we were talking just about things you found on your parents' phone, and what's on your mom's phone?
Okay, so I don't want to say too much because I don't want to, it's kind of a morbid situation.
Okay.
My parents were with a group of friends, and a really bad accident happened, and they witnessed it. And so since my parents were the first on the scene, there's, their friends, one of their friends passed away, and one of them was in critical condition, and my mom, took pictures.
Yeah.
Now, did she take pictures for, an evidence thing, or because she was just rattled emotionally?
It was more she was so rattled that she wanted to remember, why it's so important, with being a motorcyclist, to wear your helmet and what could have happened, or, you know what I mean, if you didn't.
Well, it sounds like she was thinking pretty clearly. If she was like, I'm gonna regret not having these pictures. So is it of
so she never looks back on them. She doesn't I'm gonna go check these pictures out. It's more of just for her anxiety and to show people this is what could happen.
Yeah.
But it was just it was morbid when she showed it because I was not expecting that, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, there's a body.
Yeah,
right
seeing
on
a
your phone.
dead body
And so,
is traumatic. I was playing baseball. I think I must have been 17 or 18, and we were coming back from a baseball game, and maybe a half a mile in front of us, we saw a bad accident on a farm road that a truck got T-boned by a car, and we were the first people on the scene. And my dad went to the car, and I went to the truck, and it was a girl I was dating.
Yeah.
Her parents' farmhand. Oh. And he was dead right away. I mean, the back of his skull was literally not there. I saw brain, and I checked for a pulse. And as soon as you said this, that was a traumatic moment for me, but it never once would have I thought, if I had a camera or a phone in my pocket, would I take a picture of this?
I did, in fact. It was last year. I was headed from work to another event, and there was that hit and run right outside. So I had to get on the phone with the cops, and my picture caught the guy that ran. My picture.
So that's different.
His...
That's like a criminal scene, but this is like taking a picture of a dead body. So I can get why this wigs you out a little bit, Sarah.
Yeah, it was awkward because the guy's face was squished in, and
And you've seen this picture, but your mom's not like out there showing her church group and stuff, right?
No, not at all. She's not like having drinks and being like, "You guys want to see what I have?"
Well, see, that's where I would be afraid of this. Like, 3 White Claws in, and she's like, "You guys want to see a dead body?"
No, she doesn't sound
right.
terrible.
Exactly. No, she just like, if there's a motorcyclist not wearing their helmet or something, she'll like be like, "This is what I saw. Like, this is how like." If she wasn't wearing her her helmet, she would have died, kind of thing. Like, just
So
to kind
she's
of
being an advocate.
Exactly. Yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Hey, thanks for sharing this with us. I hope you have a really good morning.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
That's what's on my dad's phone. Just like up the nose shots. He's trying to answer the phone, but he's taking pictures.
We're supposed to call him Timothy. What was on Mom and Dad's phone here, bud?
I went through my parents' phone, and they're like really, really, really rigid people.
Sure.
Went through the phone, and I was flipping through, and there's pictures of like my mom and my dad in like these leather chaps and stuff.
Nice.
And let's just say I'm going to therapy now.
Weird news.
We always talk about how we really don't have tolerance for multiples because they're creepy. But this goes to a new level and it's always identical twin females. When they're sisters, they really take that twin level to the next level. And there's an Australian set of twins, Lucy and Anna, and they decided to get pregnant at the same time by the same man, but they do every single thing together.
The first night we met Ben, we kissed him, both of us. We were like, we really like this guy, and let's see where it can go. So Ben treats us equally, and it's been equal from day one. And there's no jealousy whatsoever.
You literally do everything together, including going to the loo at the same time.
Yes. We shower together, we wake up together, we go to bed at the same time, we eat together.
Did she say they shower together?
Yeah. You heard that?
I thought I heard that.
Hungry together. Everything is just the same.
So let me get this right.
I mean, Ben's going to jump off a freaking bridge. There's no 18 years of that. I mean, you heard it in both ears, and you just heard it in one.
Do you see this girl? These girls, are they good looking?
No, I didn't look.
Okay, so at every point in a man's life, let me just open this up for you. He goes, "Whoa, jackpot if I hit twins."
Yeah. And then they both say, "Get us pregnant."
Right?
Get us pregnant, Ben. It'll be fun.
There is a certain spot in every man's life where he's like, yes.
Shower together.
But then just even a couple of minutes after hearing this, I'm like, no, absolutely not. This sounds like a horrible way of life.
It is ridiculous. All right, Domino's Pizza restaurants in Australia, we're sticking down under. They are capitalizing on the Karen craze and giving away free pizzas to women named Karen. I think it's about time we do that because there are a lot of really great Karens out there.
Name
There's
one.
Just one really bad Karen that spoils the bunch. But have you seen the definition of a Karen in Urban Dictionary?
No, what does it say now?
It says a Karen is defined as such. A Karen is the kind of person who is unhappy with little things when they don't go their way. They are the "can I speak to your manager" kind of gal. The soccer mom of her friends group that nobody likes. When she walks away, they talk about her. That's the Urban Dictionary.
It's pretty spot
definition. I love that. And that is what's weird. If I had to get after a sugary cereal, it would be Lucky Charms. I love Lucky Charms.
Really?
So good.
I was always bummed out because you'd get to the bottom of the bowl, and if you didn't eat it right in the right, kind of like get enough flakes and then enough marshmallows.
Yeah.
If you ended up with just the flakes and then you put it next to the sink, then your dad would make you eat it all. That's only me. All right. Elena, as you look in your pantry right now, I'm assuming you see way more cereal. What's your favorite?
Reese's Puffs. Oh, so good.
That was my sister's. She would just nonstop go through boxes and boxes and boxes.
So after COVID started, everybody started working from home. Kids were having breakfast at home a little bit later in the day as they were kind of doing at-home schooling. So we were examining the best and the worst flavors of cereal out there.
We're being inundated with gifts, cereal gifts. They're very funny. Thank you. It's spicing up our morning, but people are saying honeycomb, shredded wheat is the worst. Honeycomb, obviously, the best for that person.
Allie, what's a really bad cereal?
The bad one, I would say, is Raisin Bran because, ew. I just don't like raisins at all.
Right.
So it's just gross.
Listen, Raisin Bran, if you're under 70, is a bad look.
It's just like lemons, so I can have lemon in my drinks, and that's about it, or lemon like on top of fish, but I can't have like lemon meringue. So it's like with raisins, I can't have raisins in cookies, but I can have raisins in cereal.
Jamie, make me cringe here. What's a really bad cereal?
In my opinion, the worst cereal is Cap'n Crunch, just because, I don't know, the taste doesn't sit right with me.
What?
And then the best cereal is definitely Cocoa Puffs, because who doesn't like to drink the chocolate milk afterwards?
At the end. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Cocoa Puffs leaves a delicious remnant that just makes you feel like it's having a moment right here.
Yeah,
loving me
see
some
that.
Cocoa Puffs. Brad, how are you, man?
Not much. How are you?
Living large. Give me the worst cereal in the history of the world.
Honey Smacks, for sure, no doubt.
Yeah,
Honey Smacks. Now, is that the one with the, it had the frog on the packaging, and it was like, they were like little puffs, but they were just glazed honey on the top, right?
Yeah, to me, it's like a texture thing. It's like eating little pieces of styrofoam or something. They're absolutely horrible.
That's what I feel like, too. You're about to dig into something really sweet and tasty, and then it's just like...
Yeah, I remember that. They really marketed that at the kiddos, like on Saturday morning cartoons, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all right. Is there a best out there?
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey Bunches of... Oh, you know what? As an adult, I've come around.
Yeah.
Honey Bunches of Oats are a good adult cereal. You're right.
I think that's comparable to my Blueberry Morning, because you feel good about it, and it's tasty.
And they got the little slivers of almonds in there. I kind of dig that.
But you channel your...
Other ones with like strawberries and all sorts of different flavors. It's just delicious.
So channel your inner 9-year-old. What are your top 3 sugary ones?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruity Pebbles, and Frosted Flakes. I love Frosted
I
Flakes.
feel like you answered that so fast. Like you've been thinking about this long before we started talking about it.
Cereal connoisseur. I eat almost every cereal you could probably imagine.
So down by where you grew up, how far away was that yellow candy store? Because I've never been there.
It's like probably, it's like 6 miles from where my parents' home was, but it's right in between Belle Plaine and Jordan.
Okay. I think it was maybe last summer. I was like, we're looking for a fun place to take Liam, just weird, different places off the beaten path, staycation-wise. And someone said the Chocolate Ox up in Nisswa. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we'll check into that.
Is that by the totem pole?
Going up this weekend, have a cabin weekend, an 4th annual cabin getaway with some friends. And so we're going to check that out. And I don't know. It just kind of brings me back to when I was younger. I know you always make fun of me because I did grow up kind of wealthy. But there was a time before then that, we didn't have a lot. And we had my grandparents living with us, both sets of my grandparents. And
you were all living in the same house?
My dad was gone all the time. Yeah. They slept in the same bed. How weird is that?
All your grandparents slept in the same bed.
Why are you making fun of my grandparents? That's not right.
You're telling me all 4 of these people slept in the same bed?
Head to feet. And so, I had to take on an extra job when I was younger to even make ends meet. Like, we had the same cabbage soup every single night. So one day I brought home bread, and everyone was elated. But then there was this contest going on, and I'm like, maybe this is where our luck is going to turn. And so...
What kind of a contest?
It was a contest. It was a worldwide contest, which was like, what are my odds? You know what I mean? And so it had to do with this huge chocolate factory. And I'm like, could this be it? And of course, I'd choose my Grandpa Joe to go with me, if it were in
Not
fact,
Grandpa Dick, but Grandpa Joe.
Grandpa Joe. And so one day, I'm like, all right, it's payday. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try my luck on this chocolate bar. And if I open it, and there was a movie made about this. It was super weird. But I peeled it back. Nothing. I walk outside the candy store. There was an extra coin in the drainage. And so I picked it out.
Hey, Renee, what's going on?
Yes. Hey. Hello?
Yeah, your turn to talk. Go ahead.
Hey. Good morning, guys.
Hi.
I was just telling a story about my childhood.
Talking about, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Congratulations. Perfect. You're the first one through. Yes, whenever you hear Kat take a movie and make it into her life and realize that she's the world's greatest liar, she had me going for a couple seconds there till I heard that her grandparents all slept in the same bed. I was like, what?
I almost got to, you're turning violent.
What are you doing this morning, Renee?
Yep, that's what, just heading to work.
All right, what do you do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
I appreciate everything you're doing on the front lines. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I'm going to make sure that because you've noticed that, Kat's lying again this morning as the world's greatest liar, that we're going to make sure and get you hooked up with some cool Playhouse swag, all right?
Perfect, thank you.
Hey, how do you feel about the current state of things right now? Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Or should we prepare for a second big round? Where do you see things going?
I mean, to be honest, I'm just kind of hanging in there and taking everything in as it goes, day by day at this point.
Things change day by day. It's crazy. Already in phase 3 of what could be a vaccine for us. I mean, it's just every day we get new information. Depends on where you get it.
Do you agree with Kat in her previous
Absolutely.
statement today about nobody should wear masks and everybody should quit washing their hands?
I would never say that ever in my life.
Do you remember when she said that
Absolutely
just
not.
a couple minutes ago? So,
I
Kat,
think you should do it as often as possible.
Renee says you're wrong, and yeah, I mean it was.
Renee's a smart gal. She knows not to believe a thing you say.
Renee, do you think it's okay? Kat's dad was naked in front of her until she was 21. Do you think that was all right?
True either. You're messed up. You need to shut your mic off.
Greg walk in just.
You're gross.
Hang on a second, Renee. I'm gonna get you some goodies courtesy of the Playhouse because again, anytime you hear Kat take a movie and make it her life as the world's greatest liar, if she can't fool you, you win.
We like to give some positive vibes throughout the morning because what are we dealing with? A lot of junk.
It's heavy out there.
It is really heavy out there. So I wanted to just kind of focus on 2020. Everyone's like, we're over a half a year done in the grave. We're going to make sure that we can head to 2021.
I don't think a lot of people are understanding that just because we're going to flip the calendar into 2021 doesn't mean a lot of this stuff is over, guys.
It could be over before 2021. Probably not, but things could feel a little less severe by 2021. I don't know. They just want things to go back to normal. We still got to
muscle our way through election season yet.
Yeah.
That's going to be heavy.
We got a lot to deal with, a lot of work to be done as humans. But if 2020 has taught me one thing, what is it?
Well, what's yours?
I would say that family is really important. I have never spent this much time with my child, and I don't know. He's just such a weird, funny kid, and I have...
Would you say your son is eccentric?
He's his father, but we spent a lot of time together, and it's really good for the soul. And my mom is always in Japan every single summer for the last decade or so. Ohio gozaimasu. And I meet her at the beach all the time. And
is she taking her socks off at all yet this summer?
No. There's that defined line right by the ankle. But I see my dad all the time. My dad's in his early 70s, and you just don't want to sit there and regret. Sure. I just went like almost 3 weeks without calling my grandparents. Like, how horrible is that? So I'm going to drop off some Blue Moon and make up for it, because then Blue Moon makes up for everything.
Bring some booze.
Yeah. But I talked to my grandma last night, and I need to talk to them.
How is
more.
Ellie doing?
Oh, Ellie's great. Dick's great. They're just living the dream down in their little den there. They have the life.
Are they completely isolated from the rest of society? Are they going out for anything?
They need to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, they're old, but are they going out for anything? They're not going out for groceries? They're having everything delivered?
Well, she goes to get her eye shots.
Okay.
And then she goes late at night to their grocery store in town to get some shopping done.
They have like a special senior hours?
No, she just goes and then she tattles on all the people that don't have masks. But he drives her and he waits outside because he has COPD. I mean, there's a lot of things that could go left. So I just want to know if 2020 has taught you one thing. What is it? We had some text messages throughout. Paparazzi 4672 said asking for help. I always feel like I can do it, but I'm a single mom, still working, no help from their dad. I took the help that was offered. Sometimes it is difficult to humble yourself down. But
I think what you got to realize a lot of times is when people offer help, they want to help.
Right.
It's not a burden on them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you feel like, hey, you're burdening somebody, but they want to help. And that's a good human spirit move. Elena, what'd you learn from 2020 so far?
I would say routine is key. You got to keep to a routine, especially there are those days where it's like you just don't want to do something. It's like you got to get up. You just got to keep to that routine, especially when I was working from home for that 1 month.
Yeah. Sure.
That was hard. It was hard because I really had no routine. And when I got back to work, it was like, okay, everything's okay. But yeah, you just got to keep going.
I'm glad we worked through COVID. Well, we're not out of COVID, but
yeah, I mean, we were here every morning.
Yeah,
and it was good. It was good to keep that routine. It offered normalcy. And I saw my wife. She's, I mean, since it broke, she's been at home every day working, and she's productive. And I think she likes it because it offers her a little bit more freedom. But yeah, I mean, everything completely changed for her. So that's our question for you this morning. If 2020 has brought you one thing, I like this. Right away, as the media, I want to read this. What 2020 has taught me is that the media lies, and there's a lot of evil out there, and it's still going on. Listen, there's a lot of evil out there. I like that it's being exposed a little bit more right now, and that conversations have started on how to lessen it or to curb it.
Like with what's going on with Portland right now, 61 days of what's going on out there. But what is making people upset is that people are telling two different sides, and in the middle there's the truth, and no one knows the truth because the media is lying and trying to exacerbate the entire situation.
You know what phrase I heard the other day, and I thought, wow, it cut through to me? Think of the right and the left as a stick figure with two hands. The right is one hand, the left is the other hand. Now cut those off and stick in the middle. There's going to be truth in there. But everything far right and everything far left wants you to join their team.
Right.
Be on our side. Let's expose it all. Relax.
Yeah.
Take the middle ground and figure out what's real out there. So that's what we want to turn over to you. What is the one thing that 2020 has actually taught you?
So I went to the beach yesterday, and best people watching yesterday. I go and I wear my sunglasses and I wear my hat as not to give me away.
She's such a huge celebrity.
No, I love to watch people. I don't want them to think I'm watching them, but I'll be watching someone to my right, but staring straight ahead. I've mastered it throughout this past summer. But I saw some weird stuff. There was this mom who was in the water up to her mid calves, and she had jeans on. It's 81, and she was wading through the water. Didn't even hike the jeans up.
Also, she was just getting wet pants.
I mean, and I got such anxiety. Wet jeans are the worst. Are they not?
Yeah. Well,
they just chafing. It's not a comfortable situation.
It's on her calves.
But the thing is, he might have been 3 or 4, and she had a death grip on his forearm and wouldn't let him go even a foot in front of her. And he seemed like a pretty good kid, but he's playing in the sand with just one hand because this hand's up here. And I'm just like, what's going on with this?
You got him tethered?
And then you kind of make up stories, scenarios in your head, like, what's going on with this? But anyway, and then I look over.
I don't have this kind of free time on my hands. I've never been able to do something like this.
It's just sitting there.
I can't just sit. That's the problem. I guess I just can't sit.
But then, and Elena, I'm not saying this because it's weird. I would say this if it were a hetero couple. But there were 2 women making out in the water.
Nice.
All around them are children
floating
on noodles and using squirt guns. And I'm just like, know your environment.
Did you get a little special feeling?
It was weird. No, I thought it was really weird. It would have been weird for a guy and a girl to be doing it. Hardcore making out at the beach with kids all around.
It's so much hotter when it's chick on chick.
Kids with full diapers because they're soaked from being in the water.
So what?
How can you possibly get horned up?
The water will get diluted.
You're like, it's time to make out right now. This is the hottest situation.
Tonsil hockey.
I don't know. It was just so weird, And
were they groping each other or just kissing?
No, she had her legs wrapped around the other
Nice.
girl. I mean, it was
pretty hot. See? Yeah, I knew you thought it was pretty hot.
Another situation, it could be.
Woo, did you take pictures?
No, I didn't take
pictures. You got to whip out a phone at that point.
No, I didn't do that. But I was watching for a while.
Text your boy.
I did this too, and I felt really bad. I was
FaceTime me.
I did this.
Oh, you did a Jennifer. You went.
She was sitting right next to me too. My mom did that too.
And I bet she only had very appropriate things to say about the lesbian couple making out at the beach.
My mom is all about the lesbian life. She is okay with any way you want to live your life, just as long as you're happy. She is all about that. But if you're going to be doing that at the beach, surrounded by kids,
where else are you going to make out? The beach is a perfect place.
Go to your car and neck. There's so many other places
obstacles
to hide
in your car. It's just freedom.
They were doing it to get a rise out of
people. Listen, if
anyway.
one hot chick wants to wrap her legs around another hot chick at the beach, you got to let that go.
The beach is the best place. You could write a beach book. You could write a summer beach book. I remember we were in the Dominican, and I was 6 weeks pregnant. And remember Derek's parents brought us down there?
Yeah.
There was this European guy. He had half of one of the 2 hanging out. of the bottom of his Speedo, and then a little bit of the ending of, and my mother-in-law's like, I'm going to go look at this. So she goes and looks, and then I go down and back, and we're looking, and he's just loving it, and he's touching it. I mean, all kinds go to the beach. It is the weirdest place. What's the strangest thing you've seen at the beach?
Okay, let's open this up. Michael, how are you today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Great. Thank you for asking. We were talking this morning about odd things you saw at the beach. Kat, real quick, hot lesbians at the beach yesterday?
There were, and they were making out and just surrounded by kids. I'm like, that's the last place I want to make out with anybody. It's not a lesbian thing. It would be a hetero thing. It was just an odd location to start making out. I've seen a lot at this beach, by the way. I
Michael,
go almost daily.
What is the single weirdest thing you've seen at the beach?
Well, I was in Western Washington, and me and my boss, we went to this beach, and we were going to eat our lunch. And we're sitting there, and little did we know it was a nude beach. We didn't know. And
Stop! How do you not know it's a nude beach? Aren't there signs everywhere that say nude beach?
There was no signs. It was a parking lot.
That's not a nude beach then, sir. That is a place where men just go to randomly get naked and look for other naked people.
Yeah, this big fat guy walks by, he's big, fat, and hairy, drops his towel, and we laughed.
Yeah.
You laughed or left?
We laughed our asses off, and then we left.
See, I would live for a nude beach situation. Those people have no cares in the world.
The only time I've been to one, my wife and I, we spent part of our honeymoon on Miami Beach. And thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. And we wandered to the nude beach part, and it's very, very posted. That's why I couldn't believe that he was like, I didn't know this is a nude beach. But we wandered over to the nude beach area, and just far enough. And what I realized from this is that every single person on the nude beach is either a 70-plus female or the guy looks like your principal. And here's what the guys do. They wade out into the water so it just gets to their belly. And then they start making their way in as they look at you. And they expect you to look at them.
I love those bodies. It's like Danny DeVito penguin body.
Yes.
Where it's just
Great
tiny
space
little
coaster.
legs. And then you can't quite, the butt actually goes the other way in.
Like a Hank Hill butt.
I love it. I don't mind it.
My question is, other than the nudins or the hot lesbians or the, what's the other weird thing?
You know what was weird is that the girl with the jeans that were getting wet bothered me more than the lesbians. I hate that feeling. So I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're going to get in your car with wet jeans? What are you doing?
I didn't see it, but this last February when we were in Mexico before COVID blew everything up, one of the kids on the trip said that they, I don't know if it was my son or my daughter, said they're pretty sure they saw a kid poop on the beach and then cover it up like a cat.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, what's convenient? I mean, sometimes that bathroom was a long way away.
Are you acting like none of our guests that have gone on our trips have done that? We have had coworkers that do
you're right.
way worse.
Oh, yeah. Buried that in the, oh, God, I forgot about that. Oh.
Yeah.
I looked at the link Carly sent us. And I just can't imagine. Listen, I'm sure you like it, and you like your freedom and everything like that, but I can't imagine a single hot person there.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I'm not going for eye candy. I don't expect
Why else
that.
would you go to a nude campground?
I love people with confidence that are just going to walk around, and you gain it every
Why don't
decade.
you just
That's
put
why
on
they're
some-
all 70 and 80.
Why don't you just put on some short shorts then and walk around your own neighborhood? Why?
I can't do that anymore.
To me, if you're going to go the nudist route, or then that's for you're looking for some booty.
We need to have more than one here. Why is there only one?
'Cause I don't think anybody wants to do this. They want to be naked in their own house. They don't want to be naked in front of other people.
Because there's such a stigma.
We didn't all grow
like-
up with naked families where you were watching your dad swing around until you were 14.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Well, you just said
I
your
never
parents
said that.
Yes, you did. You're
No,
like,
I didn't.
My parents were naked till I was 10.
I said we were a naked family, but like my dad always had shorts on. He's
Well,
the
then
one that
that's
always
not
had
a
shorts
family.
On, but
Plus, listen,
gross.
So you're telling me
I
when
can't
you were
believe you just described it like that.
when you were 5 years old, you were like looking your mom not in the eye? That whole naked
Trisha
family
has never
thing.
been naked in front of your kids. Trisha has never been naked in front of your kids because I can easily text her.
Now when they're like past 2,
That's not true.
no,
That's
I
not
don't
true.
think so. I don't think so, man. I mean, I really don't think so.
There is nothing wrong with being naked in front of your kids
Not when they're 10, man.
If
It's
they have an
weird.
issue with it, then you make them comfortable and you put clothes on. I would gladly do that.
So,
but
are you telling me your parents would have probably visited a nude beach or a nude club? They would have been part of like a hedonism when they were, 40?
my parents had friends down. Forget it.
Say it. You got to say it. You got to say it.
They ran with a crew back in the day, and
A naked
we
crew?
would go to the cabin, and there was a hot tub, and all the kids had to, at a certain time, go up to the loft and watch a movie, and then everyone, all the grown-ups, they got naked and got in the hot tub.
They were swingers.
They were not swingers. It was not sexual. It was like we're in the middle of nowhere. Let's just be free and live
it's
our
always
life.
sexual then.
It was not.
It has
Trust
to be.
me, it was not sexual. Not with these people. But
what are you saying?
But what a life to live, where you just like, you're naked. Whatever. It is what it is.
I got a lot of friends, but I'm not getting naked in the hot tub with them.
Who would you? Whose wife would you get naked with? Probably Jen, huh?
I feel like this is a loaded question right now.
She's cute.
I feel like I can't do much right now without getting really, really in trouble. But I'll tell you off the air. All right,
What's
let's
it rhyme with?
rhymes with shut the hell up. Let's get to our first round of paparazzi. What do you got for us?
All right, first round is going to include...
Elena, by the way, if you had to get naked in the hot tub with either me or Kat, who would it be?
Probably Cat. Sorry, JJ. I don't want to see that.
Hey, if you had to get naked in the hot tub with either me or Derek, who would it be?
Oh,
I know.
Ugh.
Toss up.
Oh, the big, it's so hard. Such a hard question to answer.
He's
All right.
just so butthurt.
She's over there
that he's not
grunting.
chosen. All
Listen,
right.
I'll eventually narrow it down to where I'm the answer. Me or Hitler?
Me or me?
If it's me or Saddam Hussein, who do you get in the hot tub with?
Podcast. Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryant Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend. Immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.